Welcome to Insight 2020, and I am your host, Dr. Charles Lee, and this is our first episode, and today we're talking about how to begin. Just simply put, how to begin our journey to really fulfilling our purpose and our destiny. The reality of it is most of us think we're not good enough to actually be great, or we've had so many mistakes in the past that we're not worthy of an awesome life. And that's just not how we're designed. Folks, God wants us to have a great life and to live this life abundantly. Now, I'm not going to scripture thump you throughout all of this, but I am going to keep it real with you. That if you are the best that you have, you're already doomed. If you don't believe in something bigger than who you are, you're done for. I choose to believe in God. He has shown himself in my life many, many times, and I know that he's real, and that's my personal preference. And so I realize that if I try to live this thing by my way, I'm not going to fulfill my purpose and my destiny. So if you've always depended on you, nothing else matters. As far as your thoughts go is the universe. I'm here to just tell you, brother and sister, friends, that really, that's not going to cut it. So how you begin is realizing that you cannot do this by yourself. There's no way that you can fulfill your purpose and your destiny by yourself. And if anyone is telling you that, get those folks out of your life right now. I've had the opportunity of listening to quite a bit of sales pitches from in videos on YouTube, and folks talk about how they became millionaires and billionaires, and they all have this common theme of working hard, overcoming denial and rejection, and all of that is really good. But I want us to think about going to the very beginning. That's that little seed that is planted in your heart that tells you that you are naturally attracted to something or to some things that you will be great at. 9 times out of 10, your purpose is connected to that. It's not connected to what we see on social media. It's not connected to the cars and the houses and the money. It is connected to something that will bring you joy naturally. It's not manufactured. I'm going to tell you something. If you get excited by looking at what someone else has and think, now I can do something, I want you to question that. I'm not saying that people cannot inspire you by their story, because that's absolutely what we're here to do. I'm not saying you can't get motivated by looking at the success of others. But what I'm telling you, if you're looking at their things and getting motivated, you're not on the right track. A lot of times you'll hear, if you follow me on social media, you'll hear me say, get inspired, get motivated, and get encouraged. Any way you feel like you need to do that, I am here to fully support that initiative. But I want to make sure that you're on the right track, friends. The reality of it is we must boil down and realize what brings us joy. And God will make a way for you to be successful in that. That's your purpose. So let's go ahead and start it here. Destiny is often discussed as a final spot, the end of the journey. And I'm here to challenge that. Your destiny is actually living your purpose over and over and over again. Purpose is nothing but experiences that you're able to learn from to impact the world around you better. So if you're living your purpose over and over again, by the time you're done with this life, you will have been in a place called destiny fulfilled. This is why I'm laughing at this Monique scandal that's going on. I know we've all have heard about it and saw how she wants us to boycott Netflix because they won't pay her more money. And to me, that just sounds ludicrous just hearing it. Now, let me be clear. I'm not hating on Monique. I think Monique is talented at what she does. But girl, we ain't gonna boycott Netflix because they ain't paying you more money. Okay? And I'm not gonna hate on Amy because they pay her more money than you. Nor am I gonna look at Wanda Sykes crazy because they pay her less than you. The reality of it is we're focused on the wrong thing. And so the reason I use the Monique Netflix boycott as an example is because she's missing the bigger picture. Now, anybody that got good sense, and in her case come from the hood, I would have found a way to flip that 250, 500,000 real quick to something that's going to be more meaningful. And if this is your purpose, you can't necessarily be bought, because the reality of it is you're now at a theater that's coming up soon and you're going to do this, comic. And I guarantee you they ain't give you 250,000. I mean, let's face it. And so, I see these type of demonstrations on the internet nowadays, and I see people being influenced by it and saying, "Oh, yeah, we're being mistreated because we're black folk, or I'm being mistreated because I'm a male, or I'm being mistreated because I'm a white man." All these types of stereotypes that we put on ourselves, and none of it is connected to our purpose. None of it. And so we realize we can't get ahead because we're not tapped into anything that's real. Why would I boycott Netflix for not paying you more money and you're going to coin it because you're a black woman? Doesn't make sense. Let's think through that. Let's think through that. And so just a little bit about myself as your host. It took me a long time in my 38 years to understand what purpose really is and how fulfilling my destiny should go. And as much as I grew up in the church and I've preached lots of times, and I'm writing my second book, and I've done Christian music for the last 10 years, I am now into a place that I really get what fulfilling my destiny is all about and why I'm so driven towards my purpose. So I start this journey by understanding that I can't do it by myself, that it must be something meaningful, and it must naturally bring me joy. I hope you kind of just sit on that for a minute and think about, what am I doing right now that's bringing me joy? And will I do it without the money? Will I do it without the accolades? Will I do it without being recognized? If the answer to that is yes, then you're on to something. If the answer to it is no, then you might want to reconsider, because, our gifts will make room for us. And so if we're going to be blessed by doing things that makes us happy, that's in alignment with what God has for our life, then we're going to be successful. We're going to be blessed. I know a whole lot of rich, broke folk who are seemingly doing something great, but because it's ill placed in their lives, there's no fruit coming from it. So they look good and they sound good, but you peel off that glittery paper and you see a dead man walking. I refuse to be that person. I hope you're kind of thinking that way too. Here's the thing of it. If you're listening to this podcast and you're realizing you need to do something different, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Because to prepare for this podcast, I have to check myself every day. Charles, what are you doing? Is this meaningful? Does it make sense? Is it making you happy? Is it in alignment with your purpose? And those are the questions we need to ask ourselves day after day after day. I'm telling you, in the last year, I've experienced loss on a whole new level. You know why? Because things had to come out of my life for me to really walk into my purpose. I've lost great friends that I thought would be my friend to I died. I've been betrayed. I've made mistakes. Yes, I lost jobs. I've had plenty of money and I've been broke. All in 1 year. And it's been worth it. Because now I see life differently. So people may come and go. Money will come and go. Opportunities will be presented and be passed. But it doesn't yank me out of my purpose. In fact, it fuels me to continue to go forward because I know there's something for me to get that I have to share with this world. And so I become better, I become smarter, and more importantly, I become stronger. So for some of us that have had setbacks and think, oh, I am now out of my alignment and purpose, these are the things that drive you to your purpose. Think about it. If everything was so great all the time, you wouldn't get better at anything, and you wouldn't even recognize what great was because you've experienced that so long and so often that when bad times hit, you wouldn't even recognize it. We are in a place now where we will receive something that's not so good, feel the pain of it, but we'll recognize the blessing that comes from it. For anyone that tells you that money solved all their problems, that's a lie. That the job is so fantastic and they're just living a life of just opulence, that's not the truth. Truly what brings us happiness is things that cannot be quantified by money or position or status. It's the matter of the heart. So I'll leave you with this on our first episode, how to get started towards your purpose. It has to bring you joy. It has to be meaningful. And if those things exist, you will begin to feel naturally aligned to God's purpose for you. Now, for my listeners who may not believe in God or think that's something made up, I just want to speak to your spirit right now and tell you something that's going to probably hurt your feelings. You aren't enough. You're not enough in this world by yourself. So if you're the best you got, you're going to lose. But if you tap into a source that's going to make you understand and see this life differently, then you're going to be onto something. We are loved beyond this universe, my friends. And the way to begin this walk is to acknowledge that you alone will not be enough. Start today. Get inspired. Get motivated. And get encouraged. That is what Insight 2020 is all about. Each week, for about 15-20 minutes, I'm going to bring you a topic that's going to push us all towards our purpose. And I hope it motivates you. I just have one request, that you share this. You click the link, you share it on your social media sites, and you tell someone else to listen. I promise I won't keep you long, but as God give it to me, I will give it to you. We're going to do this thing together. Insight. We're going to be able to see things clearer. 2020, perfect vision. We have to have vision for our life. If not, we're just like fish out of the water. We'll just be bouncing all over the place, not knowing what to do and becoming attracted to any and everything. See, one of the things about vision is we're able to see things that's just not for us. We don't have to compromise ourselves. We don't have to think twice. We just know because we have vision. And because we have vision, we will not perish. So that's what we're about. I'm your host. I'm your friend. And more importantly, I'm more than happy to be someone that motivates you. Dr. S. Charles Lee. Have a great day.